My first introduction to a prophetic love letter came from something I experienced while reading a book. I was reading a prophetic training book from Graham Cook, and there was a prophetic letter in the book that touched me in the deepest depths of my heart. It was a prophetic word that Graham had received from the Lord for a person he was ministering to. The letter was telling this woman that she could be one that carries the rain of God's presence with her. Like a cloud, she would release the rain of God as a conduit of His presence. When I read that prophetic word, my spirit did flip-flops inside of me, as though I had a baby inside. My faith wanted desperately to receive that promise for myself, but my doubt, my logic, told me it was only for that girl in the book. So I wrote God a prayer, and I pleaded with Him to assign that lovely prophetic love letter to me too. That was my heart and soul. It was the essence of my being, and I knew it had to be mine. Over the next little bit of time after making that prayer, I had several spiritual encounters with Jesus to confirm that God cheerfully received my request. I had one specific event that I was with Jesus and He was giving me a message to share with the world. The message was about salvation, but the love that surrounded Him was so indescribably rich and intoxicating that I was undone and completely obsessed to have more and more. I cannot even put into words accurately the love I felt from Jesus. It was like a cloud surrounded Him that could be felt, encountered, and even tasted. It was like a drug that made me realize how empty I was in my drought-stricken life, and I needed the rains of His love more than anything I can describe. Then the encounter shifted, and I was like the woman at the well who had met the Lord. I went to tell everyone about the love I met. When I tried to talk, gushing water poured out from my mouth. I couldn't stop it. It just flowed and flowed. I could feel the liquid pouring out, and I knew Jesus had poured His words into a tangible refreshment from my mouth for the desert ground. That encounter was one of many that God used to confirm my prayer had been received because of my faith chose to believe it. It felt like reaching for the hem of His garment and pulling the desired power out that I needed to survive by the thriving sheer will of my faith and desperation. After that, God had me start sending love letters to my friends. Then He challenged my faith to send them to strangers and even my enemies as well. Like building a castle one stone at a time, the love letters started. And throughout all this time, I learned God is always ever present with us, and He is not limited at all. He can speak a now prophetic message through a message that was first given to someone else, and even one that was made long ago. God is with us, and He is able to speak through any vessel available to assure us of His present love to meet our needs and bring the help that we are needing. This morning I was praying for something that I was urgently needing, and God led me to look through some of the personal prophetic love letters that He has given me for others over time. As I looked, I waited with faith for God to speak to me, and then it happened. I found the one that was my right now for today word. It was all about God moving with us personally and presently like the wind, and there's nothing that can stop the wind from moving. This letter literally touched on every single thing I prayed about all night and morning, and I'll share a little bit of it here and now. The wind is on your side to give you a sudden burst of overcoming energy. I will cause you to rise up into a jet stream of my all-powerful help, where there is complete peace and no turbulence. I will show you immense and personalized affection as I cause the winds to bless you with answered prayers, like jet streams blowing through the open stratosphere to help you reach the outcome that you are hoping for. Now you will see, my dear, that my word was sovereign, and no amount of resistance or attacks can stop the outcome that I have promised. Like wind that has been a reliable source of power for thousands of years, you can count on me to do what I have foretold and honor my words. I will cause a strong, fast jet stream winds to move behind you to push you forward. Everything will quickly come into place, and I will bring back what was divided and scattered. Relationships will be restored, and I will cause them to be even more loving than ever before. Like a big gust of wind causing a windmill to suddenly pump water, I will breathe over your situations and cause hearts to quickly come back into alignment. I will cause a sudden shift to occur to help you arrive into your prophetic promise more quickly than you are ready for. My hand will do it, and it will be just as I planned it. Instead of chasing your heart desires, they will chase you like a tailwind pushing an airplane forward. There is never a moment when God cannot get you a personalized love message to carry you through any and every situation. I have had God speak to me from words on the bottom of a box of tea, and I've had Him speak to me audibly through a single crack of thunder during a storm. The more open we are to receive and believe by faith like children, the more we will hear and encounter God's presence and ever-moving promises all around us. He is present in it all. And like little kids, sometimes we just have to make believe and choose to shut down those inner criticisms that attack our faith. I could seriously go on and on about all the times I have encountered God's presence after choosing faith over doubting, but I won't. Instead, I want to encourage you today to believe. Believe without second guessing. God is the one cheering you to believe. So just let go and let your faith and His wind power carry you up. May you experience God's personal love for you today, moving like the wind through your hair and touching your face. May the winds of God's ever-present love show up to deliver just what you need and exactly all that you have hoped it could be. May the winds of help lift you up to the clouds as you encounter His love in a whole new way. I love you, and I hope you choose faith today. And if you would like to learn more about the personal prophetic love letters, you can hop on over to my website. It's www.diamondsfromthedust.com. And there's so many other treasures hidden there for you to find too. Have a wonderful day.